Hola, mi gente. Greetings, good people. This is another little segment. Maybe we should call it a segmentlet. A little segment. You know, like you have a pig and a piglet? A segmentlet. In the last few months, twice, I've been offered marijuana. So once was by my next door neighbor. So it was at night. Actually, that was a little while ago. It was at night. I'd come home from a Mets game at Citi Field. And I mean, he's right next to me. Our houses are semi-detached, you know, so we're like right next to each other. And as I was approaching my home, he was smoking. And, you know, he had a joint. And then, you know, he offered me, I guess he offered me a puff, or I don't know, he offered me a joint, but he was offering for me to partake with him. And then I said, no, I'm a Christian. He said, oh, yeah, I'm a Christian too. And he started telling me all about his background. And then one was more recently. This was over in Manhattan. And, you know, somebody within the lobby security, you know, where I work, you know, I was speaking to one person who's part of the lobby security, and then this other person came along. And at first I didn't know what he was saying. And then I realized that he's talking about marijuana. I said, you know, no. And then the next, I think that was a Friday. So the next time I came back, which was a Monday, but whenever it was, the next time that I was back in the building, he brought up the same thing again. And he's talking about marijuana. And then another day, I was, you know, in Manhattan. Sometimes when I'm walking to work, between getting off the train and getting to the office building where I work, I like to have a prayer walk. So I'm not just walking to the office, but I'm having a prayer walk. I'm trying to connect with God and talk with God and have a conversation and have some time. And so, you know, I'll walk off, you know, I'll go towards the East River, walk along the East River, you know, as I make my way northwards towards the office. And so at some point there's a parking lot. So it's there's valet parking. So people leave their cars, then the valet, you know, parks their car, etc. And so as I was coming along, there was a valet, and he was doing some parking. So he was reversing his vehicle. And then, so I stood so that he could go ahead and reverse. And then he told me, you know, he signaled for me to go ahead. So I went around the front of the vehicle, and I was continuing on my way. And then I realized he was calling me back. He's calling me back. Okay, now I remember, sorry. On this particular day, I wasn't on a prayer walk. I was on a phone call. That was it. It was a WhatsApp phone call. I was speaking to a very dear friend of mine who was calling from Kenya. So we were speaking. That's what it was. I was on a phone call. So the valet fellow, you know, he was calling me back, and I'm wondering what's up. And he's calling me back. And then, you know, he had the window rolled down. And so as I went in closer, he said, listen. And on the music system, very nice car, very nice music system, he was playing some Bob Marley. I don't remember what song it was, but it was Bob Marley. And, you know, I think, you know, I kind of gave him some recognition. You know, he was all excited. And he's not necessarily a young guy. He's actually Yeah, I wouldn't call him a young guy, but there he was, all excited about his reggae music. And I started wondering, is there anything about me or about my appearance that would make anyone think that I am inclined towards marijuana or reggae music? I, I can't figure it out. Now I will clarify, I enjoy reggae music and I love the music of Bob Marley, but I don't do marijuana. I'm a Christian, so I stay away from marijuana or smoking. I hope I don't sound self-righteous. I'm just saying that's not my thing. But is there anything about my appearance, I wonder, that would make anyone think that I'm inclined towards marijuana and reggae music? Actually, I remember now once at Newark Airport, I was taking a flight. And so I went through I forget, all these places you go through. I don't fly that often, so I don't remember these things. But I guess there's one. All I know is we were lining, and there's a whole lot of people. So there's a lot of people either lining up, preparing to go through the where they check your hand luggage, and they kind of pat you. No, they don't pat you down. Well, I guess maybe they do pat you down, but you do this, and then there's something that scans and sees what you have on your person. But as as people are lining up, there are usually a few officers on the side, and they randomly, if it is indeed random, they randomly call people over and then test them. I forget what they do, but they do something with your hands in order to test for drugs, for illicit drugs. And here I am, out of all the people around me, I am minding my own business. I'm just in line, trying to be patient like everybody else, wishing the line would move faster, but acknowledging the fact that it's not going to move very fast because there are a lot of us and only a few checkout points or whatever they're called. Out of all these people, I get called. And they check my palms. They didn't find anything. But I wondered, is there anything about my appearance that they might have cause to think that perhaps I am in possession? I wonder.